gun shit.
This side of the table's like running full steam,
like
a 2001 hearse, and over here is.
We're running analog on this.
We're running whatever bullshit car John.
You're talking about garlic sauce. He's staring at me like, yeah. He's like, I don't know, like Papa John's garlic sauce is the best.
Crystal Coach on this
I'm
side.
trying to fix it without making a big deal.
Papa John doing like foul shit in his life, and then it's just shut down.
Horrible person.
They got garlic butter sauce over here and just rum sauce.
Does anyone else have Jim Gaffigan's just popping on my shit?
Oh, I love Jim.
My mother's like, I just lost the feed. I said, yeah, we're working on it. I don't know what the fuck happened.
Your mom listens to this?
Oh, she watches every week, man.
You just said you throw stuff at your wife.
Yeah, that's my wife, not my mom. That's all made up anyways.
She made him. She knows what he does.
Yeah. She knows I'm man.
And we're
She
back.
grew up with him.
Yeah,
She
we're
knows
good.
what's
We're
going
good
on.
to go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man, my mom watches every week.
No, the computer
Appreciate
just
it.
crashed.
Love it.
Sorry about that.
I watched it crash.
Too many viewers for the Widowmaker.
Yeah.
Blew up the internet.
Yeah. Broke the internet. Look at all that Rift City at the end of the table. It's
So
beautiful.
how's this, bro? You got to cut and paste on all this bullshit or whatever it's called?
No, the audio episode's fine. There's just going to be 2 separate videos until I fix it. Yeah.
Very strange.
I'll fix it, though. It's fine. I know a guy.
Do you?
Yeah.
Ain't me.
So
Is
what
it
was
the
I
same guy-
getting
Is it
to?
the same guy that's supposed to post all the videos, all the podcasts this week?
We were talking
Come out
about-
till
Why don't
today?
you do?
Yeah, I
you
did that.
record all this. Why don't you do like 30-second, 60-second clips on your Instagram? Like
He's
I
been
have
doing that.
been.
He's working on that.
you have been okay.
He's
Yeah.
the only one that has the capability of doing it.
He's the only smart one.
Well, I'm the only one that pays for Adobe Creative
Well, that's
Cloud.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The capabilities. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't even own a computer, so
Yeah.
I'm worried about you.
I can't help.
It's like trust
No,
the guy
yeah,
who
I
doesn't
just
own a
did.
cell phone. Are you
I actually
kidding?
just posted a video the other
You
day
did.
of Matt Darcy explaining where the banana masher name came from,
Okay, very cool.
and it has the captions on it
Nice.
because the kids love the captions.
Do you know where it came from?
I can't
Yeah,
even
I
talk
do.
about this.
You do.
The kids with the
Hiking.
captions. I can't. Do your kids
What?
turn the fucking closed caption on to watch TV?
Yeah.
What? Your kids are doing this?
I have to every day. Like, fuck,
Well,
how do I shut this off?
I don't know if it's because when they watch stuff on Netflix, it defaults to having it on or they turn it on, but
What?
way too many captions on one.
I started doing closed captions because everybody in my house is constantly screaming at each other, and it's like if I want to
All right.
hear what's being said, I have to read what's being said.
Okay.
I just pause the TV.
That's a rub. Like, I
just
get that.
pause
but,
the
like,
fucking TV.
You
And then I
don't-
let them
You
get
don't
through
have
the-
children, Mark. You don't know. It never stops.
Is it you screaming?
No, it's not. I refuse to stop. It's not. But I will say,
I want to read and yell at the same time.
I will say this: when I come home from anything, my wife, I come in the door, she just pauses what she's watching because she knows
She
I'm just
knows
gonna go
it's
on.
gonna be a shit
She
show.
knows
Yeah,
I got
yeah.
at least 20
day's
minutes
about
of
to be
fucking
ruined.
energy I'm gonna burn
It's like,
telling her about whatever the fuck I was doing.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
you're gonna
Here
tell
he-
her about your butterfly
Here
time.
he comes.
we had a whole conversation.
Don't
about this.
stop. Are you kidding me? You need more butterfly time than anybody.
No way.
You and your brother.
No way.
No way.
Craig more than John.
These
Butterfly
fucking.
time.
That's
It's
what
like-
his wife calls it
So
when
like
he
if
needs
we
to
go,
like
When he
if
needs
we
to go
go
talk
away
to
for
other
a week,
people,
I
go
come
do the
home,
podcast.
and then I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go to John's. Or, oh yeah, no, you got to get your butterfly social time.
Yeah, she calls that. As
She thinks I'm
butterfly
a
time.
social butterfly, which is really
Yeah.
not really the case.
But she knows you hate everyone, right?
Yeah.
You just hate people.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know.
Right?
Yeah.
No. FOMO. Him, his brother, FOMO.
Yeah.
Like I know John's so busy, I
had
wouldn't even
real
text him
Craig
to
vibes
do
this
things
weekend. I'm
because
not
I
gonna
know
lie.
he's gonna be like,
I was
I
kind of
gotta
missing
figure it
the
out.
roots.
I didn't hear anything either fucking
really
one you
wanted to be
said.
there.
What'd you say? What'd you say?
I said I didn't hear anything either one you said.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
You gotta go back and listen. Give it a like when you do.
Is it even recording?
Yeah, we're
No,
recording.
we don't even know what's happening now. Thing's a mess.
But yeah, no, that's your butterfly time. It's true. I agree with that.
So cute.
Yeah. Do you? Of course you do.
I just picture you watching like All in the Family.
He goes into his
nonstop,
cocoon.
Just him and Wilford Brimley
I mean-
having a moment.
He goes into his cocoon.
Carol Connor, right?
Then
Is
you
that the guy?
Well, yeah, that was from All in the
Pour
Family.
some
but I was
rum
talking
on.
about
I don't watch a
So-
lot of TV.
pour some rum on the cocoon and
Like my wife has a series of shows she'll like
Butterfly
make time
in
to
the
watch.
sky.
Like when I say I'm
That's
going
Reading
out,
Rainbow.
she's
That's
like,
a whole
great.
different show.
I can just
Bob
binge
Burton.
watch all these shows.
Bin watch?
Yeah.
Binge.
Binge watch. Yeah, what I say?
Yeah, bin wash.
Binge watch? All right. Okay.
Miss one syllable. Give him a break.
Yeah.
That's fine. It's fine. Binge, watch.
Binge.
Binge, watch.
Binge.
Yeah, whatever. Bin wash.
It's fine, man.
He's gonna torture me on the way home now.
No, it's fine. No, I'm not going to
His
torture
whole
you.
ride home is gonna be like,
I can't torture you. You just fucking shit yourself every fucking opportunity you get in my vehicle every fucking week.
That's true.
And then he stares at me like a fucking cat. Just
With
looking
a
at
big
some
smile on
stupid
his
shit.
face.
He's like, I'm like, you shit yourself? He's like, and then even on the weekend, I'm like walking with like near him and he just turns his, I said, I heard that.
John stares.
Big shouts.
John stares just shitting himself.
Oh my god.
Oh well.
Yeah.
This is like
Everybody
therapy.
shits. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Not like John.
No.
What do you mean?
Oh,
not
boy.
Like John?
Not like John.
Firsthand.
Foul shit.
It's really bad.
Not good.
Wow. Now that we've
Are
gone
we
down
at-
that
Are we
road.
at questions yet?
Yeah.
No, we lost everything.
My
We
wife
lost
asked me
everything.
when I was going to be home. I was like, I don't know. This podcast could end in 20 minutes or could end in
Could be 3 hours.
We don't know.
Either way, nobody's going to make it to the end.
I'll be home at some point. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
No, let me pull up the question.
Do we have questions? I didn't even
Except
look
for
at
Mark's mom's going to make the end. And that's
Yep.
awesome. I love
Hey,
that.
man.
I love that for you.
Yeah.
She's great. Supports everything I do. I love it.
That's very nice. It's very
Yep.
good to have a mother's love.
It is very good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Someone will have to tell me
One
about
hand
that
on
at
it.
some point.
What'd you say?
Someone will have to tell me about that at some point.
Oh my God. I'll tell you who doesn't listen to this podcast is Ryan's
My
mom.
mother.
Jesus.
She does not listen at all.
Because she knows you talk like this.
She has become wildly useless in the last like 2 years.
I wonder why she doesn't listen.
No.
You guys are brutal to the women in your life. You're throwing plates at one. And
She's been the most independent person I've ever met since the day I was born. She's never had anyone do anything for her. In the last 2 years, she's become so like, oh my God, the car won't start. What do I do?
so
Yeah.
help her
Well,
out.
And
yeah,
I walk
when you
over and
have-
I hit the button, the car starts. I'm like, I don't know. Did you need something more complicated?
When
than
you're married
that,
to
or-
VW Jesus, you know, it changes things,
mean,
right?
and
Now
he-
you're just a disciple that's working its way up. Good luck with
How old's
that.
your mom?
Is
Good
your
luck
dad-
with that
is your
promotion.
dad a
How old?
VW hippie?
So my dad worked for VW.
Break
for
it down, make him
40
feel
years. He died a couple years ago. My
Big shouts to
mother
the DDG.
Lives with me. We have a
Dead Dad
in-law
gang.
setup. Dead Dad gang. We have an in-law setup. They lived with us for 10 years before he passed. But she has become like wildly not independent in the last like 2 years, and it's kind of scary because
Yeah.
I don't know what to
maybe
do with
your
her.
dad gave her the confidence, and you just need to give her the confidence too.
no, he did nothing. She did everything for him, and now she's just given up. I think is what's really going on. But anyway,
Yeah,
That's
you
a
have to
whole
you have to
different-
become more
that's a
dependent
whole
on
different
her.
world.
You're the
Right.
guest.
She needs to take care of
You're
somebody.
the guest
Like,
on our podcast now.
Can you come here and put
That's
this pepper away from me? I'm like, wait, what? I don't know.
Are her requests reasons
Wildly
But
inappropriate.
are they reasons for you to interact with her, or
No,
is it just
I talk to her every day. Like we live together in the same building. Like we live there, so I see her all the time. So
When
for
she
her
gets
to-
mad at Ryan, she puts an eviction notice on the door.
I mean, I own the house, so it'd be kind of funny. But anyway, yeah, no, she anyway. That's
Well, I mean,
that's a different.
that's-
I don't really
the reason why I ask is because I'm at that stage now where the transition of knowing my parents as people who do everything and can do everything to now know like, oh, they actually need me to stop in more often. They need my parents are 84 and 90, so understanding the what's this?
That's me.
Oh, so with the,
What's this shit?
Where's everybody?
who's that?
Mommy.
Yeah, so it's the transition of understanding like that role is changing. So it's kind of a wake up call for me to understand like the things that I think like, oh, the kids' games are at this location. Come see them.
Yeah.
I'm still thinking, yeah, these are my parents who can do.
They can just hop in the
what
car
they
and
used to
drive
do
over
all
there.
the time. And now
There's
right.
There's definitely a little bit of that, and I've given her a lot of grace on that. She's only in her, I think she's 77. So I'm gonna be 48. She'll be 77. So, but she's a very active and very capable 77. Like she is. very healthy. And I'm really trying to give her the grace of like, maybe I should be less judgmental when she asks me things like this, but she'd been doing the same things for all these years, and all of a sudden she just wildly doesn't understand it and thinks it's voodoo. And I'm like, but you've been doing the same thing. Why can't you understand it now? So that's kind of where I'm stuck, but
that's what I was picking up on, because there was a couple instances where just anecdotally it was like things that I knew my parents had done before that are now a challenge, and I was thinking, all right, that's
Doesn't make sense.
yeah.
like, to me, I'm thinking, oh, I'm frustrated. My sister's like, yeah, well, like, they're getting up there in years and things aren't as simple, and leaving the house isn't as simple as it used to be. And,
Oh yeah.
you get to an age where you have to plan out like where you're going to go to
Yeah.
the bathroom and how often you can
Exactly.
be out of the house for how long. And
That's the biggest thing with my grandfather now is the bathroom. Like it's everything is planned
And
around.
the same thing for my dad.
The bathroom.
When he was alive, he had that like at the end, but
Yeah.
for my mom, still like that's not as far as I know, that's not an issue. She handles it with no issue.
That's an issue for me now.
I know.
At
Like, I gotta
39,
pee all the
yeah.
time.
Can you
but
imagine
whatever.
when John's 70?
Yeah, I'm just gonna have to.
God.
He's gonna live on the toilet.
I'm just gonna have to
He's gonna
carry a
have a
shiwi around with me. Yeah.
We're gonna be doing this podcast from
He's
John's
gonna have
bathroom.
he's gonna have a catheter and a back strap to his leg. It's gonna be like a real large.
You know
Colostomy.
we're still gonna be doing this.
Yeah.
in
Ryan's got
John's
something
bathroom.
going on over here.
Just all this small talk.
Is she the Disturbed singer? What's happening right now?
What phone is that? That a Google phone or whatever?
Galaxy
Oh, the Galaxy.
24.
Banana Masher, fuck, marry, kill, Hulk Hogan, Roseanne Barr, Santa Claus. Great
Oh,
question.
fuck, Mary, kill.
First of all, Roseanne Barr looks better now than she ever did.
Roseanne
Don't-
rules. Roseanne is so funny.
Yeah.
Roseanne's always ruled.
She was
Yep.
Son
yeah,
killed Tony like a month ago. And
she was a goddamn legend.
Yeah, dude.
drunk out of her mind.
Oh, really? I don't
yeah,
think I
but-
watched
but-
that episode.
Read that again.
Fuck, marry, kill, Hulk Hogan, Roseanne Barr, or Santa
I
Claus.
mean, Hulk Hogan
I'd
stinks.
kill Santa Claus.
He's
Hulk
kill
Hogan
Hulk Hogan.
stinks.
yeah.
Sucks.
Why would you kill Hulk Hogan?
He's a dick.
Why is he a
dork.
dick?
He's, have you ever seen like the the reality shows
Yeah.
with him? He's just a dick.
I don't know.
Hulk Hogan will slap his name on things, and he just
Yeah,
stinks.
all right.
He's like a
Listen, I'm fucking Santa Claus, marrying Roseanne Barr, killing Hulk Hogan.
Really?
Yep. Simple.
Yeah, I'll go with that. Like, that's
Simple.
cool. Good enough.
I don't know.
It's simple.
He's jolly.
Fuck Santa Claus.
He's jolly.
Which
And the other
Santa?
two,
Like,
let's just see what the night takes.
contemporary Santa or like 17th
Here we go.
century
If you gotta break it
Germanic
down,
Santa?
if you gotta break it down, you just kill him.
You know, in my
I was thinking,
interpretation, it was
If you
contemporary
gotta
Santa.
break it down, just kill him.
I was thinking like South Shore Plaza Santa.
Yeah.
Billy
great.
Bob Thornton, Bad Santa.
Like,
yeah.
on his lunch break.
Yeah, lunch break. Full of whiskey and hate.
Yeah. It's basically
man.
Mark with a
dude
beard.
that carries
Smart,
the
but
staff.
I'm
or
not
the guy
answering that
that's drunk
question.
at lunch?
I would love to look at that little bug on my hand. I'm like,
What the
Yeah.
fuck is
How about you
that?
kill it and call
What
it
the
a
actual
day?
fuck
It's
is
a
that? thing?
baby Katie did.
Did you bring that?
Was that real?
No.
Is that a real
It's a
thing?
Why would you bring
house
Buck
spider.
in the studio?
Can you fucking take care of it?
what's the problem?
Is it
It's
eating you?
literally the most entertaining thing happening here.
That's a lie. That's a
No,
lie.
he's not wrong. No, he's not wrong.
Is that a spider?
It's a little like, I don't know.
You don't know. Can we?
It's like a little grass.
Oh, it's a baby cricket. Like that's a baby.
This is my conscience.
Dylan Smith, can I challenge each member of the staff to a Rift City shotgun race?
Sure. Sure.
I mean, yeah, you can always,
I mean,
you can always challenge everybody.
I don't. Yeah. Sure. What do I do on his route?
Backyard Spider, the crew's thoughts on is a hot dog a sandwich? That's a great question.
It's not a
I feel
sandwich.
like we've done this.
I
for
think
these guys
I'm on the fact it's not a sandwich.
It's a hot
Of
dog.
course, it's not a sandwich.
Woofers on wood.
Is it a pearl hot dog?
Red Snapper, maybe.
Hey, how was the dogs you got at that place? By the way, you guys got those fucking giant ones.
That foot-long dog?
Yeah, was it good?
It was
That was
good.
more than a foot.
I didn't measure it.
I'm looking. I saw it. It was like way more than a, like
It was
that was a
probably
lot.
it was probably a 16
I
inch.
almost got one. I'm like, I saw them. I'm like, I'm glad I didn't. Now.
If the bun doesn't
'Cause we
match the
know,
hot dog,
'cause I was
why
drinking.
bother? Like if you got a bunch of hot dog hanging out on either side of the bun, like I don't know. What do you
That
want?
was the place. They got that dog at the place. Remember we all went there and they were. He's like, I'm closed.
Yeah, it was called
Yeah,
Grab a
So
Wiener.
Yeah,
I
on
think
the
that
boardwalk.
guy was setting everything up to open up. Like I think
alright.
he was just working. to get shit ready.
Erica Hogan.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
In the geometry answer, because I like that. To
Yeah.
me, that graphic that shows
The starch.
diagram. That's a great one.
The
Yep.
size of starch. Like, I can fuck with that. But what is like a Auntie Anne's wrap? Like, what is a hot dog inside of a pretzel? What is a full? Is that a burrito? But the ends are exposed.
Hold on. Do you hear yourself? We got to break it down. What are you asking?
I get what he's asking.
What's he asking?
He's asked if we go by sides of starch
Yeah.
on like an Auntie Anne's, like a pig in a blanket, basically.
Okay.
It's like
Oh.
a burrito,
would
but
be a
the
corn
ends are
dog.
exposed. So the starch.
All right, Ryan's boy.
Your mom definitely thinks we're disturbed.
Yeah, no, I get that. What do you call that?
That's just a fucking.
It's not a burrito. A burrito is.
It's like a pig in a blanket.
They call a burrito 6 sides of
Yeah,
starch.
it'd be a pig in a
technically.
blanket. I would say at that point.
A pig in a blanket, I think, was one of the things on the chart.
Oh, okay. You talk about sending this chart back out, but you never do it.
Yeah, I should just make our own version of the chart.
That would be great.
That's what I should do. Erica Hogan asks, how can we get a buffalo chicken beer made? Rosie's Pizza collab.
That sounds terrible.
I don't think that's ever going to happen.
Can you? I mean, you just pour like.
I would recommend Erica looks to her left or right and asks her husband.
That's a great
He's
question.
our head brewer.
Since
Yep.
he is the
Director
guy.
of brewing operations.
Correct.
Director of Brewing Operations.
Where
Chris.
is Chris? What's he doing?
Working. It's been a very long week for
All
Chris,
right.
and
The production team.
I was not going to
Very
ask
busy.
anybody to pull their time. So
I could see there being. Pepper works nicely with a lot of different things. You could.
I'm gonna just stop you right there because I've done a thing where there's a beer challenge and there was a jalapeno beer on that menu and it fucking sucked.
Yo,
It was
will you
terrible.
tell me if he goes down my shirt?
He's going up your shirt
I
right now.
see
He's
him.
going right to your neck. He's going.
I want him back on my arm.
It sounds like you're more concerned about what's going to happen to you.
Yeah, the jalapeno beer was fucking awful.
Have you ever
It's
had,
awful.
say, Goza with watermelon and habanero?
No,
Oh well.
because that sounds terrible. Why would I ever drink that? I would never order.
Have you
that.
had it? Or you just
I know a brewery that
I mean-
makes it and it fucking crushes.
Goes a sour, right?
Crushes.
So then you got watermelon, which is sweet, and then fucking habanero, which burns. I don't know. Just too many things going on.
People drank 62 gallons of it in like 36 hours.
That is
up in-
not right. That can't be right.
Up in Great American Beer
They were
Hall.
just dumping it, pouring it out to get another one.
Anyway, my point being to
To the hot dog sandwich.
well, no, to the point
Erica's
that
question.
Erica's question. I've
Oh.
moved on from the hot dog
Yeah.
sandwich because you're.
We're talking about
I
buffalo
thought you were
chicken.
still trying to pull up that.
I saw what
Yeah.
he's doing. It's not happening. He can't
Yeah,
find it.
I can't find it. So the buffalo chicken beer, though. The pepper would
that
work.
can't be.
Like I think
No.
of Frank's Red Hot
Come on.
inspired.
Hey, I got a question for you two.
About
So you
time.
brewers.
Thanks,
No, I mean,
thanks for
serious,
having
this
us
is
on.
Huh? Yeah. Thanks for coming on. I got one question.
Welcome.
For you. That's about
Welcome
it.
in.
After
Yeah.
this, you can leave.
Dude, you don't have a
Um,
sound effect for Mark's only question of the night?
I've had a lot of questions. Normally, it's just rage and yelling.
Yeah.
I really want to. I love Frank's Red Hot, so I want to hear the rest
When
of
you
that
guys
story.
All right,
beat
go
your
ahead.
wives,
Go
do
ahead.
you? Oh, go ahead.
No, just John does.
Oh wait, your wives don't beat you?
No. I run.
Silent
I run like a bitch.
Widowmaker does not
No,
condone
tell me
any of
about
that.
Frank's Red Hot, because I
No.
love Frank's Red Hot. How would that work?
Oh, I was just saying that you could pull inspiration from it. I'm not saying you dump Red Hot into a beer, but
You don't want to double dry hopped Frank's Red Hot.
I have a thing where hot stuff like that in liquid, like something you're drinking, is just not the same as it being on something you eat.
it's inspiration. You don't want to drink Red Hot, but if you
Right,
have,
but it's not about drink. You're obviously not drinking the Red Hot, but it's all about flavor and dispersed and
like if you think
broken
about it
down.
in terms of, all right, I'm eating a buffalo chicken pizza. Maybe I'm having it with like a blue cheese or ranch. So it's like, can I do something that's got like creamy aspects of mouthfeel with a hint of pepper that just like leaves it on the sides of my mouth? I don't need to taste pepper the entire time, but it's just,
the setup,
yeah.
right?
I need to tell you that's what I was thinking when I made it. I don't need to make it taste like that because, yeah, no one wants to just
Drink a glass of carbonated Red Hot.
right.
Chris? Got some work to do.
So my question
Yeah,
was,
please.
Yeah.
Finally.
so who comes up, like, do your brewers come up with, hey, I'm going to do this, they got to check with you, or they just do it? Like, how's that work?
Yeah, I mean, there's processes for sure. Like, we need to make sure, like, I mean, it starts with the creative process, obviously.
Sure.
And then making sure it's financially
But you guys have
responsible
the final say, like, let's do this.
not typical. I mean, like, there's obviously feedback if it's, like,
There's a conversation.
if it's, like, not plausible to make that beer at the cost, you know, people aren't going to buy that beer at that cost. So, like, you need to make those decisions and not make a beer that you're going to make for no profit. I mean, we have to.
Sure.
We have
No, I
bills
get
to pay, we
that.
have people
No, I
to pay,
I
like,
understand
but, like,
that. Yeah.
We have a really talented brew staff, so the
Let-
initial ideas can come from the back of house staff might have ideas, and then they build a recipe, and then the recipe's costed out, and then if it falls within.
So maybe this is a
Like-
better.
like
So do you
anything,
do like a mini run? And say, like,
So-
is this beer really
we
going to taste
don't
good?
no,
pilot
Fucking
anything.
let it
But
run.
like anything.
So maybe
in
this
any-
is the better way to ask this question: is do your brewers
Why-
come up with it? What you? What? Go ahead, say it.
I was gonna say, you asked me a question. I was gonna answer.
Yeah. Well, you
Yeah,
tried.
let him finish an answer.
Yeah, they tried. It wasn't going well. So do your brewers come like make something and be like, hey, try this. This is what we came up with. What do you think?
We're not piloting.
Or is it
That's
the
fine.
like,
Concepts are in ideas in paper. We don't have a
It's all paper.
5-gallon.
Right,
I waited
okay.
3 weeks to ask you if we should make this. It's more
Right.
of a here's a style. You know, a lot of the great beers that we have a number of like styles of beer. Someone says, I want to
Sure.
make a style of beer like a Palt Mavi beer exists. Hey, we haven't made one yet. So research on what it is to make it. How do we make it with our twist on it? We know what ingredients we want to use that might be either to the letter traditional or how we would make it in our house style, and then costing that out. And it doesn't take a lot. The guys are coming up with they're in sync with what we want to put out and how to fill in there's
So basically, it's all on paper.
there's it's a 15-barrel brew house. We don't have
Yeah.
a way to just pull off
Right.
They're not making test beers.
three
Yeah.
pints to try and be like, should we brew this up or not? It's more of understanding the process.
This
for-
beer we're drinking is a refinement of style and technique that they've been able to execute through doing beers like Kvedra and
Okay.
and techniques they want to use. It wasn't like their starting point wasn't here. They've gotten here.
yeah, it's a better way to put it.
Gotcha. Okay. I was just curious how that worked. I don't know. I didn't know. I know nothing
Like
about
anything,
really
if you
brewing
think of
beer,
like
but
a-
you don't know. You got to
Like,
ask.
if you think of like a football team, like you don't start with the intricate
Sure.
Hail Mary. You got to have fundamentals of like
Yeah, I get that.
communication, and like it's just like anything, and like there's
I guess-
there's a constant battle of like what we want to do and how we want to make the best beers possible, but we
course.
also have the idea of we want to exist as a company, and
Yeah.
you can have beers that'll get you broke if you don't pay attention to the costs of the
I guess my thought on this is like it's all on paper. You guys discuss it. You're like, yeah, let's go with it. We're gonna run with that. I think that's great.
Well, there's a
And
lot
not
of, there's
knowing what it's gonna end up like.
Well, they've been around 7 years now, so the styles all might.
So if you take if
Yeah.
you think of like a Martin and Lewis, when we first brewed that 7 years ago, it was brewed on a 5-gallon pilot batch homebrew,
Okay.
but it wasn't out of the realm of our thinking of how to make that happen. But like John just said, 7 years later, and between Chris Hogan, Ryan Lemish,
Yeah.
they've been at Widowmaker alone for 6 and 5 years. Like they were brewing previous to that. There's a lot of experience in the room
Yeah.
and understanding of,
Processes and,
Yeah.
and all the things that go along
I
with that.
think what made me ask that question is I can go to Widowmaker and order the majority of stuff and enjoy it.
sure.
And like I might not be like, oh, I won't have another one, but like that wasn't the worst thing I've ever put in my mouth.
And that's
You know what I mean?
There's confidence going into any beer we brew. Think of a painter. They
Yeah.
and they use the color wheel. They know, this color and this color is going to make that color. Like there's understanding.
And there's always going to be an audience for the outliers.
It's a very fascinating industry to me.
It's like cooking.
Like when there's so many different varieties to choose from. Like you go there and like I've gone to other breweries and I'm like, fine.
Well,
that's all you have. Fine.
You go to a lot of breweries and it's like, all right,
Yeah.
they have 6 of the same thing.
The beer is passable, and there's nothing wrong with the beer. But there's nothing also.
We're very lucky to have people who are innovative and willing to take risks. And I'm sure there's times where they're stifled by decisions based on business. Like,
well, let's face it. I mean, you don't want to have lagers are more popular now probably than they were 4 years ago.
Chris and Ryan saw that coming from miles ahead. They were, if when they both came, or when Chris started and then subsequently Lemish, like I was brewing Widow Lager.
Yeah.
But not pushing the envelope, of different styles. Like the Deadly Gardens wasn't, that wasn't that wasn't an itch I was, going to scratch that without provocation. And those guys are the ones who pushed it forward. Like, I've said this probably a handful of times on this podcast. Like, Widowmaker is born out of collaboration. Widowmaker is born out of people pushing themselves to do better. And if it wasn't for people like Chris, Lemish, you think back in our history of, Abby and Pat, obviously Brady. Like, we've had a lot of talented people walk into Widowmaker with, signing up and signing in to live the Widowmaker vision, but also
it seems like everybody that works there is really part of the
fabric,
culture of it and the fabric of it, and it's really,
Well, that's kind of where I was waiting to jump in. Was like
you wonder if other places have that same thing, and you don't know.
That's kind of where I was taking this. So, like, if you look at, mentioning Brady and Lemish, and you think about like Trom and Moon Burial and like those, like creating, all right, we're gonna do no oat lager. Oh, we're gonna do dark oat lager. Like, that's taking what we've learned about lager and then taking it to another, like, non-traditional. So being a little more experimental, but knowing it's not like, oh, we're just gonna dump things in this, cross our fingers and hope it's gonna be good. It's understanding the equipment, understanding the process, understanding what I'm looking for out of using these adjuncts or using these techniques. So that's the fun thing too about making beers you haven't made in a while, is you're taking all of the new knowledge you have of perfecting styles and creating. So when there's a new Widowmaker beer out, if it's in a similar style to something before, it's taking all the learning and all the knowledge of process improvement that's been made since before. So yeah, there's a lot of breweries where you've got a great single IPA recipe, you got a great double IPA recipe, and every new release is just that same recipe with a change of hops.
With a twist. Yeah.
And I put a new label on it, and that works for a minute, but
it's not sustainable.
I can't judge whether it is or it isn't, because it depends on a lot of different factors. But
it wouldn't be accepted.
When you come to our tap room and you're going to try, like Morning Star isn't just old oaken with fruit in it. Like, there's been huge progressions in traditional and non-traditional styles, and just seeing how those are all just based on flavor profile. And I think when you get to a point where I'm envisioning this and I know technique, style, and ingredients that will get me there, and being able to deliver that, like, that's where you want to be.
Yeah, and then obviously timing is everything with, like, all right, we're not going to put 6 lagers out this week. We want to have a variety, so you have something for everybody when they come. I mean,
that's a whole other dynamic, because we're running a production facility on the basis of keeping a tap room full of diverse and interesting people to come in and want to get what we have every week. But we're growing Blue Comet. Now we're blowing up Rift City, like dealing with capacity constraints and growth. So we've, whether it's obvious or not, we've made trade-offs in terms of how we're utilizing tanks. Fermentation space is limited, so maybe we don't do as many one-off beers, or we're looking differently at the number of doubles we're putting out based on trends in package versus on premise. We're looking at how we can maximize output of Blue Comet while it's still taking off just in this state alone. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of like when you kind of think about what goes on behind the scenes besides, the fun stuff you see us doing, the conversations around how do we get more capacity? What are the trade-offs we're willing to make? Where do we need to win? Where are we pulling back from because we need to do something differently? So, yeah, it's a constant strategic battle against a very dynamic, changing environment of guessing what people want, and that's just in the
What's popular,
That's just
what
in the
people
liquid
want.
itself.
Yeah.
When they get there, what are they looking for? What are they expecting out of experience? What are they expecting from? You mentioned the shows, the concerts, and everything. Like, yeah, it's.
Well, I think there's a trade-off in
You
like
can have the greatest beer, but you have to get someone in there to try the beer.
Well,
So,
I think
like, you have to
there's a trade-off in quality of space too. There's places that I've gone where it's like, I would never buy a 4-pack of this, but this is like, if I'm in this town, like, this is an enjoyable place to go have a beer.
Right, but generally those towns are probably in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah, my point is
they're not in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah,
They're-
I guess my point is like having desirable space is beneficial in addition to
Yeah, no, John's
the beer.
point's dead on because you could have the highest rated beer, but if you don't offer creature comforts, you don't have food, the bar of what's expected for experience has grown to a point where
it's almost unmanageable. Like it's almost you cannot make anyone happy at this point. Like
it's funny because like we deal a lot,
right?
That's
Grab my
the
hand.
goddamn
Yeah.
fucking
It's
truth.
really the
Honest
truth.
to God.
yeah.
Like people have become so fucking like needy. You can't make anyone happy.
yeah. I mean,
So you just do the best
I mean,
you
we
can
could have an
and
entire
hope-
podcast
yeah,
on why
I-
customers are difficult, but I mean,
we're
let's talk
constantly-
about what they're working on to make it
we're
more
constantly
manageable.
juggling.
Yeah.
How kid friendly do you want to be?
Yeah.
What more do you want to offer besides your core beer?
Yeah.
What hours do you like? What food do you offer? Like all of those things feed into what someone's expectation of experience is. So you look now, like the trend into, especially if you look out, like because Massachusetts has a little tighter, like New York, yeah, your tap room can pour someone else's beer, and you can probably get a license that allows you to pour alcohol. Other states, the brewing licenses aren't as restrictive. So in Massachusetts, you'll start to see that trend pick up where breweries are going to start to realize we need RTDs, we need liquor. We're going to start to move towards distilling licenses. Or
Yeah.
you look at like, in your town there, Red Hand, he's going to brew, but he's going to also have a brew pub license to pour other. It's the point where like from talking to Brad last week at Pour Farm, like it's not necessarily the same issues that breweries face because they can only pour their beer. He can be selective about pulling the best of the best in,
Yeah.
but still try to get people who are passionate about craft beer. But people who have passion for craft beer travel with people who only drink wine and only drink
Exactly.
only drink seltzer, or
Yeah,
only
yeah.
want cannabis. So right now, every business is trying to understand like how do you stay attractive to a broader range of customers, and it's going to change how breweries open. Like when we're still getting, people walk up to us and say they're about to open a brewery, and I think, oh my God, like you can't take a 2017 approach to this anymore. Like if you're not thinking about the broader offering of what,
If you didn't start this in 2015, you're not opening a brewery.
like
it's just not
talking to
happening.
the guys in the on the retail side in the package stores, like High Noon, Sun Chaser, like I'm probably saying that name wrong, but whatever, all those vodka-based seltzers
Yeah.
with something else, like that is a considerable force on the market right now. So we're looking at staying true to the product we're making, but also we're not stupid. We're looking at how do you diversify, how do you broaden your scope. So part of it is
Yeah, like offering the seltzer that you have in the tap room. I mean,
some of it's beverage based, some of it's experience based. So when we're looking at, the shows are an element of our in the fabric of who we are.
I think that's part of the Widowmaker brand for
but
sure.
it's also part of we're grinding. It's a lot harder these days to continue to stay top of mind, share of mind, and it takes this extra effort. And I think right now that's the challenge in the industry is it's not just do you make good beer, it's do you offer an entire package that's in what's going to make people give up their time and money
Yeah.
when everything's expensive and everything is draining them. So we're that is what goes into
and the difference of a family of 4 going in and having like, the dad has a beer versus, all right, they're having lunch here. They're having multiple drinks each. They're bringing family in for a birthday party. It's like there's so many layers to it.
So my opinion on all this is like, I always like, sometimes I'm like, I wish some breweries had like hard alcohol. And I know a couple that do. But at the same time, to make it a weekend thing, like for Widowmaker, you bring your dog, you bring your kids, not a big deal. I had to explain to some people like, I think it's crazy. People bring their kids to breweries. I'm like, why? I'm like, the breweries aren't set up to sit there for fucking 6-7 hours as you do a bar, and get fucking wrecked and wasted and you can't drive home. Like, that's the difference of the brewery. The brewery is about, to me,
Is that what you think a bar is set up for?
yeah, it is. If you go, trust
You
me.
just saw him crush 11
Trust
Captain
me.
Cokes, right? You
Trust
saw
me.
that, right?
Right, that's how it is, though.
You rule.
I'm telling you, that is definitely how it is. Like go. You have your regulars that sit at the fucking bar every fucking day, and they're there for 6-7 hours getting wrecked.
Oh yeah, like
Right?
at our events.
They're not bringing their kids. They're not bringing their fucking dogs. But with the breweries, it's different. It's not about getting fucking wasted on hard alcohol. It's about enjoying the flavors that you guys all fucking make with your fucking kids. And you don't have to get wrecked. Have a couple, and you go the fuck home.
and then you go home and get fucking wrecked.
yeah, do that. That's fine. But I'm
You go
just
there
saying,
at 2, you bring the case home, and then you
I've had
fucking go to
conversations
town.
with people like, I can't believe they bring their kids there. I'm like, it's not the same as an Irish
I
fucking
think you
bar.
just heard
Yeah.
what Kenny just said.
Yeah.
Like, in 2017, you kind of rolled the tables out and opened the taps, and
Yeah.
you had great
Let it
days.
rip, see what happens.
Now the great days are built on Mondays and Tuesdays in planning, and the energy and time it used to take for our anniversary weekends to be special and great. You kind of have to have that like once or twice a month.
Also, the sort
there
of
needs to
culture
be
of
an
drinking
event.
has changed as well. Like, you see people out to lunch now
Yeah.
because they work from home.
Sure.
So they've got 12
Yeah,
or 2. They're going to go, maybe they'll go to a bar and have a
everything
couple of
has
drinks.
changed for us, like-
and so it's no longer Thursday night, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Like, it's every day. Like, you have to just be there, like, ready to go.
Yeah,
Because you never know what day is going to be the popular
but
day
you
anymore.
could it's I mean, it's changed significantly. Like the expectation of what Widowmaker had in 2017 versus today is like, the time and effort we put into planning events and things I would never have thought about having to
Stuff
do.
that you didn't even think was important back
like
then.
when Widowmaker opened, all I cared about was,
How far in advance do
beer.
you start thinking about your anniversary dinner every year?
I mean, we're
Like, it ends and
April-
you're already rolling it. Yeah.
April-ish.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's more of like making sure Townsend or Dottie's is down to do it.
Yeah, yeah,
again.
yeah. Of course.
And
yeah.
we
And if there's like merch or
Sure.
beer involved to make stuff
insane.
happen, you have to
and,
plan
so
it.
much work.
Also, like it's like I don't know. I always get a little self conscious of like the self congratulatory like side of it. Like to me, it's like I don't want to make a big deal of ourselves all the time and pat ourselves on the back.
You fucking should. Are you kidding me?
I don't, but I just don't.
I know. I get it.
I would just rather like, and I don't think our team wants to do that. We want to make great beer.
Yeah.
52 weeks a year. We don't want to make great beer. It's not about once a year. Like we're trying to do it consistently overall. Like, and I think that's been how like Widowmaker's been able to keep our
just
like,
a humble group of brewers.
yeah. I mean, like show up and the grind is endless and like it's the problems of today. Like we came in yesterday morning and for whatever reason our CO2 gauges weren't properly reading apparently because our tanks were empty and I've grabbed 5
Can't can
CO2
beer without
tanks.
CO2.
I've grabbed 5 CO2 tanks in the last 36 hours and that was the easy part. The hard part was the guys having to
Yeah.
decide what to do at what point of the day to make sure that at the end of the day the job was done. And like, I felt bad leaving the brewery today. It's like, man, like these guys are like in the shit and all I had to do was get on the horn and yell at a CO2 company to get the bulk delivery and on the side like go hustle some H tanks from other local suppliers. Like,
Yeah.
but like it's just like you never know what the brewery. It's like any job. You never know what today's battle is going to be, and you don't know what tomorrow's going to be. And
And a lot of the battles aren't public. Everybody sees,
This was supposed to be an easy week.
Yeah.
Not an easy week, but like we finally fully staffed for the first time in 2.5 months.
Yeah.
And everybody's excited. Like Chris is going to get some normalcy. Chris is going to be able to catch up on some work. And nope. Like it's just not. Like,
Sorry, buddy.
And we have a new guy, Jack, starting this week, and like he's experiencing like the expectation of what you expect when you show up to work every day is like not actuality. Like it's just you got to kind of be
adaptable,
and if you get frustrated when things don't go right, don't get into this industry.
Yeah, welcome to the club.
Yeah.
Everyone's frustrated.
And like,
but if you stick it out and do what you need to do,
you get to make no money and battle cannabis and watch people come in and drink high, ask where your high noons are. I mean, it's a thankless job. It's a hard job. It's like every other job. Like you hope that you make enough money to keep your people happy and employed, and that the paychecks get paid, and you get a crack at it tomorrow. That's kind of like,
one day at a time.
One day at a time, and then obviously it's ownership
one day at a time, and then 6 months out, you got to figure out.
Truthfully, we thought Brighton was going to be a home run and kill it for us. It's been a fucking grind.
Yeah,
and there's been elements of our company that have suffered because of it, and it can affect operations. It can affect morale. It can
affect your motivation.
It certainly affects the bottom line, and is this there's moments where like, is all this challenge worth it? And at the end of the day, you hope that everybody shows up tomorrow and says, yeah, it is. And the one thing I'll say about Widowmaker, and like we have a ton of people who I kind of just went through like what production's gone through this week. It's very adaptable, and whatever the daily challenges are, we embrace it, and still, in my opinion, put out world-class beer every day, even through all those challenges. And on the other side, front of house, Kenny and his team, think of like we'll tonight we're selling beer on a farm in Hingham on Sunset Picnic, and maybe that helps us in the long run because we're willing to set up and grind wherever we are allowed to set up and grind.
Yeah, maybe a couple of people that never heard of Widowmaker will be it'll be their new favorite brewery.
They make their way here, or you go on a podcast and listen to some guy fucking ramble about shitty 90s movies, and if one person listens and goes, I guess I'll go spend $75 on a dinner next week.
Yeah,
like you never know,
welcome.
but like
you're welcome.
it's all
some guy in Connecticut might drive Short Island and buy a 4-pack. You never know.
But Widowmaker and a lot of breweries are very adaptable and willing to chase the customer. And like, every time I go on Boston.com or whatever, craft beer is struggling, craft beer is dying. The same publications that 2 years ago were asking us for comments on, what's the next beer trend?
Are you dying or are they dying?
Well, I think
I think they're dying. Is really what
it's just a lot of like, it goes both ways, and like people like to build things up, and people like to
beat things down.
They build them up just so they can.
It happens in celebrity culture. It happens in restaurant culture. It happens in
music, whatever it is.
Culture.
Yeah,
like podcasts the same way. Like people get into something, and then the second a lot of people are into it, well, it sucks and it changed, and it's not as cool as it used to be. Like, so beer's not any different from that. So
yeah, and let's face it, the last 5 years have been weird for every business,
yeah.
And it brought in a lot of change and adaptability, and it made some things last, and it made some things happen that wouldn't have happened, and who knows where it'll go from here.
We got into this. So we were riding a wave of craft beer, kind of exploding in all over the country. But like, you think of what the industry, the region we got into with Trillium and Treehouse, and obviously like the Hill Farmsteads and Hetty Topper, like breaking through, and then
we're pretty spoiled.
A lot of us coming in and kind of riding that wave, but then you kind of, we were a brand new company. We were open for 2 years. Second one was open for 2 years, and COVID comes and changes your whole business model, and then
You haven't even settled in on your actual business model, and it hasn't changed again.
And you know, we're still learning. We're still learning how to walk, and there's can shortages, there's CO2 shortages, there's COVID guidelines when we can open up, and then there's, you know, whatever we're facing today. You know, the cost of making one single beer is 6 times what it was before, and cost of labor is growing, and you know, the longer you retain people because they're great, you know,
The more you're going to pay them.
The more
it costs to staff it, and the bigger you get, the more people you got to bring in, and you start doing events. You got to have people who manage it. You got to pay bands. Like, it's like, you know, it's a difficult industry to go through, and so we're very lucky to have people like the people we've mentioned already on this podcast that, you know, I don't have to sit there and grind through. You know, when Widowmaker opened, I was brewing all the time. Like, I don't have to anymore.
Yeah.
Because I'm very lucky to have people who are much better at it, and that's their focus of their job. And, you know, it's my responsibility and Kenny's responsibility and other people's responsibilities in the company to make sure it gets sold somewhere. And so, you know, it's a team grind, and it's like anything. It can be frustrating, but like at the end of the day, like, it's still ours.
You're still here. You're still
like
doing
we're
it.
gonna fight until we can't. And
Yeah, I mean, just even adapting on your point around, like, look at this 2 weeks. We've got a beer dinner. We've got the Sunset Beer Farm today. We've got we were doing a private tasting for a Quincy realtor. We're doing a cornhole tournament at the Braintree Beer Garden on Saturday. We've got all the events
a
next
U.S.
week.
tour kicking off in our tap room tomorrow
night.
Yeah.
So, and then next week.
That's just leading up to the
dinner,
anniversary
the
week.
wrestling.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Across this 2 weeks, like, it takes all of those events to pull together.
That's
what
getting
we
unique
need to
customers into the tap room and the beer garden.
And at the end you go, we're still behind.
Yeah, like that is what it's taking now to. It's not, we're going to put out.
You're not going to put out 7 hazy IPAs and unlock the door and just let it rip.
Yeah, we're sold out at 2 and go back to filling tanks. So yeah, it's
different now.
We're passionate about what we do, so it's not. There's no complaints when we're saying it's just an honest truth that
it's a different thing than it was 4 years ago.
We're looking at things right now. We're looking at opportunities, places to bring beer, experiences to offer people that we never would have thought of 5 years ago.
But I think, like, caring about what you're making and caring about continuing what you're doing is really the formula. You know, you have to be adaptable. You have to evolve with the market. And if you're willing to do that, I mean, here we are.
Well, I think there's a clear message from tonight, which is if we were going to diversify, rum and cokes.
Yeah, rum and cokes are clearly...
Rum and smoke, Widowmaker.
Yeah. Rum and coke is very lucrative.
Yeah.
We know we could sell at least 11 of this guy.
Yeah, we're talking one day.
That's just the lunch break.
Yeah.
That's one sitting. Yeah.
There's been times I've gone to Ryder to drop guys off to pick up trucks, pass them Widowmaker. I'm like, what's 2 p.m.? I'm like, is this frowned upon?
There's no
Could
rum.
be.
But there's no rum.
If I go back, it's frowned upon.
Yeah.
It's all like Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
What happened to all the rum?
I always want to just stop in for a couple of beers, but then I'm like,
It's
I can't
never-
go
it's
with
never
this
just a
guy.
couple, yeah.
He's gonna just think it's okay all the time.
Well, the best place...
Door's always open for you, man.
No, I know. I appreciate that. Sometimes I gotta be a boss, and I hate it.
Believe it or not,
Me
he's in
too,
charge
dude.
of people.
Yeah, I'm in charge of people. Yeah,
I get it, man.
That's a scary.
yeah. I just yell at people.
Although I'd love for you to be in charge of me.
Yeah.
So-
I don't know why. I just love harsh authority.
you say that now.
The best place to find updates is at Widowmaker Brew at most social media places. WidowMakerBrewing.com.
You can find us on TikTok and Threads. And
TikTok too?
Oh, you do
No.
TikTok dances?
I'm 40 years old. I need to hire. This is
Hinge.
Colin won't want to hear this. Like the next expense is somebody who knows how to do social media.
Yeah.
I take a picture and go, oh, this will work.
No, it won't.
Here's another beer can, y'all.
Yeah. Got to be reals. Reels for everything. I know. It's awful. But yeah, at Widowmaker Brew, check out the website. Tons of events coming up. There's tickets to the show tomorrow and next Friday still available. There's still a few tickets to the beer dinner, right?
A few.
If you want to go, there's still a chance, but jump on it quick before it sells out.
Yeah, and then after the anniversary, we got Cave In.
Yeah, Cave In is next
October
month, right?
25th.
Next month. Then
Yep.
we got Heavy Metal Halloween 2. We got
That's not even announced yet,
no,
technically.
it's not. Green
Heard it here first.
Yep.
Green Sabbath, and then we're doing Almost Homecoming. You know, a prom.
Prom.
Oh,
theme.
shit, really?
Yeah, the night after Thanksgiving.
Oh, I love that.
we got a you know,
We're definitely going to that.
Okay.
I'm in for that.
Yep.
prom king and queen.
Sick.
I fucking love dressing
I
up.
don't
I'm
win
so
prom.
pumped
I
on
got
that.
that nice jacket I wore.
Yeah, I'm gonna wear my
Cat's like,
wedding
I
outfit.
wish
you
we had
do-
a place to wear
Can
this
you
again.
let's put John to work?
Yeah.
You can't bill me for this right now.
Okay, now
Let's think about what the Almost Homecoming poster looks like. I'm picturing like the gas tank, but like a disco ball.
yeah. I love that idea.
Yeah.
Disco ball, but with the stripes painted on it.
Yeah.
But carry.
All right.
Yeah.
Wait, that sounds good. A day after Thanksgiving, huh?
Yeah, it's a big going out night.
Is it Friday?
Yeah, the
night?
homecoming. Yeah, because everybody comes back to their
It's actually
hometown.
the Wednesday before.
Okay,
Thanksgiving
all right,
is
makes
the big
sense.
night.
Makes
Well,
sense.
yeah,
whatever.
But that
What'd you say?
That's for, like we thought
The
about
Wednesday
that
before
and,
Thanksgiving is the big night.
Oh, that's I won't go anywhere.
I'll quote
You
Keith.
can't get me out.
That, you know, that's a big
When I was
towny bar. night.
25.
Towny bar.
I know, I
Yeah.
get it. It's insane.
Yeah, that's a dive bar night.
We're doing a Black Friday.
I like that. Yeah, so there's
You
a lot
doing
of
a
great
Black
things
Friday?
coming up.
Well, no, I'm
yeah.
saying
Oh
that
shit,
is
that's
the day.
Friday after
Yeah, it's
Thanksgiving.
Black Friday. Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
named it that right here.
I like what you did. Yeah,
I just
I thought it was another Friday. I'm like,
you heard it
excited.
here first, folks.
Yeah.
We're coining that
Jeez.
trademark.
But yeah, check out Widowmaker Brewing. We'll put the tag in the show notes. Lots of great events coming up. And if you're looking for Widowmaker and the place that you live, shoot me a message, and if I can help you find it, we will figure it out. We'll get it done. Anything else? Have I said it all?
I think you said it all.
You
I'll
had
tell you what I'll
questions?
do. Here's what I'll do.
Oh, we hit the questions already.
let's-
Okay.
If-
Let me make sure I didn't miss any.
Someone leaves a review and references this episode, I will send you a 4-pack to where you live.
Oof.
Oh, damn.
The
Damn.
first person to do it.
Oh,
Contiguous 48 states. You don't want
The
to
first
be sending that
person-
shit to
the-
fucking
No, it's got to be in the United States.
Yeah.
The first person that does it.
the 48 states. Like
Well,
the-
no,
That's a deal from Mark, not from
Contiguous.
Widowmaker.
Yeah, that's right. That's from me. I'll send you the 4-pack.
Yep.
So
Yeah, I hit all
that's
the
what I'll
questions.
do. Leave a review, reference this episode. If you're the first one to do it, I'll send you the 4-pack.
And if you could maybe remind you, so when you forget tomorrow morning,
Yeah.
I would reference.
Are you
lot
always
of
just judgmental? Jesus Christ!
I'm not judgmental.
Come on.
He's like an iron trap.
reference
It's kinda wild.
minute.
No, I'm not.
155.
No. All the information John has given me and my wife over this past weekend about
Gone.
VWs.
Fucking
My
gone.
wife's got it all. I have nothing. So, and she's just been doing crazy research now. But
You're buying a Cabrio.
But I won't
That's
forget
basically
about that.
Where we're going at.
I'll remember.
Tomorrow, when
Pepperidge
I'm
Farm
looking
remembers.
at Cabrios, I'm just going to send it all to you.
I'm going to give you my wife's number.
Please give me your wife's number. That would be
I might leave a review
amazing.
tomorrow.
Get a free 4-pack.
Yeah.
Guaranteed sale. Gentlemen, thank you.
It'll be funny for them to
John,
ship it
thank
from
you.
Widowmaker
Yeah.
to Widowmaker.
I'll see you in 355 days.
Well, hopefully we'll have the Cannonball Run first, whichever.
Watch party.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We got the watch
Yeah.
party coming up in November. And if,
Oh,
if
not that one.
oh, not that one. Yeah, I was in the bathroom.
Oh,
with that part.
you missed that part. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, not
Oh.
the Bandit. I'm
Yeah. Cannonball Run.
Ryan.
No, my house. You guys
Oh,
can
okay.
watch
Ryan,
it.
John is
us.
trying to wrap it up. Everybody
I know.
just stop.
I hear
Can
you.
everyone just shut the fuck up and let John run
I
things
just want it
here?
on the record that we got invited over for
Nobody
movie
wants
night.
Ryan.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
this
we're
would be
going to
great.
Ryan's house.
Yeah, what are we
Yeah,
going to
yeah,
watch
yeah.
that? What are we
Yeah, I
going to
heard
watch
the
that?
Vanagon thing.
We'll
yeah.
figure out a day. Guys, come over.
No, Dumb and Dumber, because God forbid.
All right, everybody
it's
listening,
Cannonball
you're all
Run.
invited to Ryan's house.
What'd you think of so Anchorman, the original? Did you like it?
Especially you, Paul McGrath. Drive up.
We can still talk. This means shit. Now he's a fucking mute.
I'm just trying to think of a Will Ferrell movie I do like.
You didn't like Anchorman at all? So it took me like 10 years to watch it.
podcast, you and I.
Well, I have to start watching a lot of fucking movies, but I'll do it.
All right.
You want to do it? Let's do it.
That is a